What is up? It's me. I'm here somewhere. Here comes. Alright. It's Tuesday afternoon, which means only the one thing that it could mean. We're going to do some live coding. My name is Mike Bifulco. I am technical director for... Come on. It's all breaking. I am technical director for the Gymnasium. We are a free online code school. We offer courses on design, development, and all kinds of goodies. Our courses are free, and they're self-paced, and they're video-based, and they're online. As long as you can access the internet, you can get through to them. So, I hop on my stream every Tuesday in a world where my computer behaves correctly to show you what I'm working on. And so, we're going to continue work, the exploration of what we were working on stream last week by, let me just free myself up. Oh God, what did I just do? There we go. Oh God, nobody panic. All right, we're going to continue work on exploration of a UI framework called Chakra. Oh boy, everything is slowly crashing though. This might take a few tries today, that's okay. It's okay, we can do it, I believe. Okay, so, first things first, let's show what we were up to when last we spoke. I'm gonna swap over to my implementation of Gymnasium with Gatsby, which is what you're looking at here, which loads quite slowly. We gotta fix that actually. We gotta fix this. There's some things I need to do here to speed that up. Like that looks like it was an external link, not an internal Gatsby link, which is not great. But before we get wrapped around the axle with that, what we have is a test page where we were testing out Chakra stuff last week. If you were here, we worked on this together. If you're not, I'll quickly explain what's going on. Chakra UI is a React-based UI framework that is largely independent of external dependencies and fairly lightweight and very performant. And one of the things we like about it, or one of the things I was looking for in a UI framework, is that one, we don't have to import a giant amount of CSS. There is some, but it's relatively minimal and unintrusive, and it's optional, which is really cool. And two, we can use our own theming, which is what you're seeing here. For example, this is our Gymnasium orange, and that's what everything is based off of here. But number three, we're interested in simplifying implementation of various interfaces on Gymnasium. So we worked on this Hello World test. We also worked on the implementation of, which page was it? We did a stack somewhere, I believe. Nope. Oh no, it was a simple grid. On the How It Works page. We re-implemented this. This was probably about 3 times as long in the old syntax, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? Like long syntax is okay as long as it's expressive and readable and all those other things. But truly, this implementation says everything that it needs to say and is nice and expressive. So we know that this is a simple grid. It has a spacing of 8. And this is defining it responsively. In other words, at the smallest viewport, it has 1 column. The next step up from there, it has 2, and then everything above that has 4 columns. And then these are the things that get put into each of the sections of the grid, the areas of the grid. Thank you. That's what it's called in CSS parlance. And so that's cool. We were taking a look at this for simplification. I will save you the drama of pulling up the old implementation. Rest assured, though, that this is really nice, and so far we've been pretty happy with it. So what I'm going to do is take a look at implementing Chakra in some other places and doing some advanced CSS stuff with it to answer some other questions I still have sort of lingering about the developer experience using it. And we'll work on that today. So let me make sure my microphone is here. Looks like it's picking me up. It looks like we're all here. Yeah. Okay, great. So I will show you where this How It Works thing is because it makes sense to. I should also close this window because we don't really need it right now. That'll make the streaming process a bit easier. And let's look at, on the home page, that section that we re-implemented with Chakra. It is this guy, how Gymnasium works, right? We have these microcopy bits of markup, which talk to our CMS, so that's what that's about. And we have these 4 columns for how it works, and I can show you that it's responsive if I zap my browser tools into responsive mode. We'll see it grow, right? 1 column, 2 columns, 4 columns. Works really great. And fits our design super well. So, and for example, if we found that there's an awkward size, like this isn't really great. It works, actually. Nothing is broken super bad there. It's just not an ideal way to view this stuff. If we wanted to do 3 columns for a step, we could do that. We could do 4, 5, 6, you know, we could grow it out as much as we want. The tooling is really nice for that. And importantly, the expressiveness continues with the implementation, right? So if I come in here, there will be a grid somewhere, this guy, which has 4 columns. They have spacing in between them that is expressive as well. All the stuff in here we asked for. So what we're gonna do today is take a look at this section, this find work section. I'm gonna grab and re-implement a subset of this, just 1 row we're gonna re-implement with Chakra, and then we're going to do something that exists on our current site, if I scroll down, where we have this nice animation where the job, as you highlight it, the title of the job sort of slides over. So we're going to look at re-implementing that using Chakra, and to do so, because everything in React is composable and really nice like that. Oh, hey, look at this. There's some interesting layout bugs there. Well, we'll tackle that while we're in here, but because everything is composable in React, what we can do is we can start with this finished implementation and just replace the components that we need to. So I'll show you how we'll do that. So let's do it as if we didn't know what was going on here. So I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to go to inspect, which will bring up my browser tools. I'm just going to take that out of responsive mode for a moment. And because we know this is a React project, I'm going to go into the components inspector, which is grab the components tab, grab this element selector thing, the second one. This one is for the general browser tools. This one is for React. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to go in here and grab this whole item, which shows me that we have a job list, and inside of that job list, well, there's a lot going on here, but let me see if I can get a little bit better selection there. No, it might just be that's the place to look. This is the job list. It's got a bunch of options in it. So that's at least a good start. I'm not sure why, I'm actually not sure why this isn't broken down further. That's really interesting to me. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, obviously that's a good place to get us there, but I think that might be a bug in the dev tools. Kind of surprised by that. So we're gonna go to job list, and we see in the job list here, this is the general implementation for it. We know that we're on the home page, so I'm going to go to the home page and show that off. And I'll show you exactly, well, I'm just going to shortcut to it. We have this find work section. In the find work section, we render a job list, and we feed it the options that it uses to pre-populate a market. But we also pass in this job list item, which is this guy here. And so for this guy here, we have, you can see actually in here, there is some, this is CSS classes that comes from Bootstrap. So what we want to do is get rid of those. And I'm going to pull this over here. This is the associated CSS for this file, just to show what's in here. That means we have this classes.joblisting, which is used here. And all of these associated classes are for object elements that are subsets of that. So I'm going to first start by putting this in its own external file. Let's do that. Find work job list item.js. And to do that, we're going to copy this element. We might need to grab some more, but we'll start here. Copy this element. We'll do our standard import React from, React. Sorry, I forgot I need to make this all bigger for you to see. One more. Okay, import React from React. And then we're just going to paste what we had there, do export, default, job, what do I call it? Find work job list item. And then I'm just going to rename this to that. We need to grab this get URL for job from here. So we'll do that. And we need to grab classes from here, which is fine. We know that we're going to get rid of this eventually, but I'm just going to start with the full implementation here. And then rather than having this here, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete this get URL for job. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say import job list item from find work job list item. So that should be a one-for-one replacement so far. We haven't done anything fancy. We got to save this file. We'll come back to Gymnasium here. It will compile and refresh. Hopefully that worked. Great, and with any luck, I'm going to close these dev tools because we don't really need them right now. With any luck, I can convince you that that worked by dropping in something like 3 @ symbols at the beginning. And all these should have 3 @ symbols appear in due time. Yeah, there we go. So now these are being rendered from this new file, which we have separate. I think that was likely to happen eventually anyway. We have to be cognizant that we're using classes in here too. That's okay. We may end up getting rid of that. We may not. It's not requisite. I'm going to close some unneeded files here. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on chakraizing this. So I'm going to move this job list item to the left side here so we can view the CSS on the right. I'm going to shrink this down, maybe get rid of it entirely. And we're going to slowly replace the things inside of here that use classes with their chakra equivalents. I'm curious to see, there might not actually be a dictionary list. I think that's what that stands for. And that's okay. We can work with that. You'll see the chakra kind of provides a means to do that. We know that there's a link class. That's kind of cool. We can work through that. And then these are sort of semantically used B for bold, I want to say, and E for emphasis tags that we can also stick in place there. So, first things first, let's take a look at the most exterior one, job listing. So we're going to open up the Chakra docs here, and I don't believe there's a definition element, right? So that's a bit of a frustration, but I believe the text element has it renders a p tag by default, but you can override that, I believe. Override style, truncate text, override the element. There we go. Okay, so all we have to do that, I'll show you why this is good in a second here. Okay, we're going to import text from Chakra UI /core. We're going to replace this DL with a text as equals DL. So theoretically that should render it still as a DL. And I believe if I save this now, it'll still render just fine. We can inspect, we can double check that this is coming through as Chakra now. It certainly rendered it as a DL. I sort of expected to see the Chakra component wrapping that in that particular view. Let's do this inspect one more time. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's explain what's happening here. So this is a Chakra element. It has the as DL, and if I come into the elements inspector and I inspect that, we should just see the DL on the outside here. Yeah, there you go. Okay. You know what? But we have it nested again. That might be an implementation bug of my own. Looks like I have all of the DLs in a parent one. Justin, I may need some help with that. Should these be DDs? We'll figure that out. For now, let's work on replacing this class name here. So we're gonna leave that for now. So what we'll see will happen is I'm gonna move these rules out of here, basically is what I'm working on here. So we're gonna do that by leaving them in place in the CSS, and just like with all the other chakra-ish stuff that we do, if I, that's not what I wanted. If I add style props for them, I can say border bottom equals 1 px solid ccc. That's great. I can also say font size, excuse me, 0.9 em, and I can say font equals, and I'm just going to copy this because that's a lot. And in fact, we might even have shortcut ways to do that elsewhere, but we're just going to leave that for now. And there you go. So in theory, that should preserve those styles, but you'll see they come in through here. Okay, so actually that did change, right? And I think what changed there is that we lost this stuff, and that's actually okay for now. What I'm one of the experiments that I want to see is how we handle hover, so we've got to work on that. But I believe there's a way to do that with a property called CSS, maybe? I was looking at the docs for this. We will. Oh, Andrew, yes, can you flip the hero? Sorry, I completely forgot to do that. I even have it open in a tab here, and I just didn't do it. Cool. Thank you for doing that. You know what? I'm gonna leave that. Justin, thank you. Awesome. Good thing about prettier is that will just format itself. Okay, let's take a look at this. I've definitely done this wrong. Yeah, look at that. Okay, awesome. Great, okay. So we can see what this should have been. I can fix that too while I'm in here. We will do all of that. Basically, we can see here what I got wrong is that this should be in a DL. So let's go to find work. No, I'm sorry, let's go to the job list. I'm gonna close this for a second. We're gonna open the job list and I'm gonna fix that because that's gonna bug me until I get it right. So we'll bring this off to the side. And okay, here we have our DL. Inside the DL, we should be rendering a div, which is not what I was doing. All right, oh boy, now I gotta remove this sample code and get back to my implementation that I had before. So what we want inside of the DL is a div, which is what this should be. And then inside of that div, so this is a div in Chakra Talk is a box. We could just use a plain div as well, but we know we're going to style it, so we will do it like so. We have our box, we have our style rules applied, we have a key, we need that for React stuff. We have this class name, which will go away eventually. Inside of that div, We have some even better. So this should be a DT with the job title. Oh, awesome. Okay, I actually think I see a nice way to do this in a more succinct way. So this is going to become a link. No, actually, we'll leave that as an anchor for now. I think because there's no classes applied to that. Oh, but we're going to eventually. Okay, we'll get there. Okay, so the trick now becomes dealing with these classes and getting them lined up correctly. So you can see already in my prior implementation, I had conflated a lot of style rules and the semantic structure of the page in a way that wasn't helping me and sort of only served to confuse things. What we're gonna do is, we know that this has gotta be, I'm just gonna put this down here in a comment for myself. So ideally what this should be, we know it's already in the parent dictionary list. It should be a div. Under the div, there should be a DT, job title, and then a DD, job description. There we go. And so we also know that this whole thing is going to be a link. So I believe it's valid to do that. So this is what the HTML will look like. We're close to that here. There's some extra crud going on and we didn't use the DT and DD. And so I'm just going to show this in its relative Chakra lingo. This will be a box, this will be a link, and this will be a text as DT, and this will be a text as DD. Now we don't have to do all of that in cases where there's not going to be style rules applied to the individual parts of it, like these guys here. But we're going to try and use Chakra's styling system for this. And so this is the goal to get it to eventually. Right now we have a box. We need to get the link and the text in there. And then we're going to get rid of this .job post. I just want to see what... Nobody really has a dependency on this class name. Okay. Simplify, simplify. It will get more confusing before it gets better. That's okay. It will also look a lot worse before it starts to look better. I'm fairly certain. Job dot, what's the problem here? Ah, okay. So everybody's happy, at least for now. We have this style done, so I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to comment this out. Come on. We're going to do this style next. That is the link style. Display equals block, position equals relative, color equals, we need to grab the theme for that. There we go, we'll grab our orange color, height equals auto, padding equals these guys. overflow equals hidden. That helps with our animation. This is more animation stuff. Okay, that gets rid of that rule. Comment that out, we'll save this. Now, the hover thing is the bits that I need to figure out. So, this is where I was spelunking in the docs before. Let me go back to the style props. Style props. What they explain here is that Chakra UI uses a styled system to do this. So in the styled system docs, I looked this up, and this is what they do. They have a CSS function which can be used to decorate basically any DOM component. So I believe to do that, all we need to do is import this, which I believe is already added to the project because it was a dependency of Chakra. Oh, use a motion style. Okay, okay. So we don't have styled system. No, okay, so we're gonna have to add that. That's fine, we can do that. No, what is that? Yarn add styled system. And so while that's installing, let's work on that syntax. So we're going to import it here. That's this guy. We'll keep these together. And we're going to say CSS equals CSS, which we've now imported. And now we can do, how does that work? Okay, inside of a brace. So it looks like that is what we're going to need to use, and hover. Right, this has to go in an object. Okay. So that should do that. Now we have an and hover before. We're going to grab these. This will be theme.colors.orange 400. Content, we're going to grab our arrow here. Height, line height, margin. There we go, that's everything in there. Comment that out. And then a hover. Now that is a complicated CSS interaction. Oh, right, they won't be happy about this. Run the thing again. This is going to be interesting to figure out. But just for giggles, let's try it just the way we would do. And hover, colon. Let's see what actually gets underlined in practice here. Everything. Everything? Ah, no, just the title. So that's going to be the DT. And hover DT. Let's try that. Okay, let the thing compile and we'll see what we get. It'll be interesting to see if this works. Meanwhile, I should comment this out, because that's where we're at with that. Now we only have the one rule in there, which comes from the other file. It's doing its thing. We've come back to life. Did that open my browser? I don't know if it did. There we go. No, okay. Something is not working here. Let's inspect. First, I'm going to look for console warnings, of which there's plenty. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Reactor detected a change in the order of the hooks called by job list. This will lead to bugs and errors if not fixed. Oh. Looks like this is where the change is. Find work 29. Find work 29. Job list. Very nice of you. Okay. Let's give this a refresh and see if that comes up again. Oh boy. Not happy. You seem to be using a value for content without quotes. Ah, okay. A good hint. I got rid of the one. We still don't have that arrow rendered, everyone. Using this right? Let's figure out what's going on here. This will lead to bugs and errors if not fixed. This is in find work. I don't really know why that would happen. these comments. I do want to see what's actually being rendered here. A DL, a div, an anchor, a DD, and a DT. That's good. We need to figure out where some of those styles are missing. I do wonder how much. Oh, no. I do wonder how much. Can we save? What the heck is happening? I think I need to track down this React problem before I track down the rendering problem, because I bet they're intertwined. I'm just going to comment this out. Oh my gosh, my keyboard is not working. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Something's gone awry. What? Okay, seems to be happy now that I mashed the keyboard for a minute. I'm going to comment this out and see what happens if I get rid of these two color lines. See if that error goes away. Can't imagine why it would. I don't understand why it's there to begin with. But lo and behold, it was the theme causing problems. Okay, let's ignore that for now, I guess. We're only using it to grab a color, which is okay. What we want to look at now is the link component to see if it has all these behaviors I was looking for. It doesn't have any of these guys. Right, it has all this position, padding, all that goodness. But it doesn't have this, so I got that wrong. When in doubt, I tend to go search through GitHub issues to see if someone before me has bumped into this. Okay, let's try hover. Ah, there we go. Oh. I believe you can pass all props of pseudo box to the icon button. Let's look at that. Very interesting. If you need to style a child element when hovering over a specific parent element, then add the role equals group attribute to the parent element. Then you can use the group hover prop to style the child element. Okay. Okay, look at all this. This is what I'm looking for. All pseudobox props can use the style props. Wild. Okay, let's try that. So that's going to be pseudobox. As a, and another pseudobox. That means I no longer need this, and it means that this becomes underscore hover equals, yep, and then I'm gonna move this into there, put that there, and how do I do hover before? Okay, I saw an issue about that in here though, didn't I? Huh, okay. That's that, and then we're going to do role equals group, and then like that, and then this is going to have to be another pseudo box. And group hover equals text decoration underline. Did that work? Let's see what kind of a mess I've made. Okay. That's awesome. We've got some animation back. We don't have this. Oh, I might be missing a colon. There's my arrow. It is smaller and less oranger than it should be. Okay. So that's great. So we got that working. Do we have browser warnings? Let's refresh the page and see. And of course, also I still have potentially some issues with these being on the same line. I don't remember if they're supposed to be. Kind of looks like they're supposed to be. We'll worry about that in a minute. There are no browser warnings coming from this. Let's see if we can get that silly theme back. Okay. I mean, this is the way to use a theme. Oh, look at that. Missing a D. I know what's going on here. We forgot one of the assumptions we make when we're using. Here, I'll show you. We have our test page, which is where we started. The test page has a layout. Maybe I don't know what we did wrong here. No, actually, I'm quite confused. I'm just going to restart this to see if that helps. Though I'm not sure it will. I don't know if this is going to fix it. We're certainly going to find out. No. What gives with that? What it seems to be saying is that this isn't always executing, maybe. But there's no reason that it wouldn't get to here. Right? The only other place we have a use theme is here. And it's done in, exactly the same way. Did we at least get the color this time? Yeah, we did. I'm gonna fix the font weight on that arrow. I don't understand. What on earth? Job list. I mean, yeah, though, right? What does this guy do? Am I maybe not adding an ID onto this thing? Let's do this. This feels like the problem. Well, no, we're still rendering a key, right? Let's inspect. Let's find out. Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't even have my React tools here. Okay. We changed something important here. We changed the way that we're rendering this. Before I was assuming it's a function. I'm treating this as a function, but it is not quite just a function anymore. I think there should be something like that. How does that work? Okay, let's look at some source. We have things that do this. We're going to look at the link component. Uh-oh. No. I forget how you pass a component into in as a prop in React and render that component out. So we're going to look for something like box here. Wait. Chakra UI core box. Okay. Core. Source. I hate you so much. Export star from. Oh man, smart developers, smarter than me. I'm just trying to find where box.tsx is. Box.tsx. Let's go into the layout directory. Source. Box, thank you, my God. Oh, and of course this is done in TypeScript. Alright. This is a freaking well done library, but it is really not helping me right now. System. Source. Good system. T extends as component T. Oh my God, this is beautifully written code, but it's a lot deeper than I wanted. So we're gonna do some searching on the old internet for. Getting lost here. All I want to do is say so I know there's a React node type, is that right? Element. Okay, that's what we want. Let's get an example of that. That's not gonna be easy to Google. Okay, well, here's what I'm getting at, is basically this is the wrong syntax, I believe, to render a child job list item. So we're gonna say that. See if that works. Maybe that'll work. Okay. Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Job list 37. Yes. You'll notice that did get rid of the warning. So I was onto something there. That's a plus. Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. In job list, line 37. Oh, find work. Job list item. I don't think I render anything else. Tell you what. Let's do like that. Job. Does it have a job ID? It does. Rest. Nothing in there. We are rendering a key. Okay. Get that stupid debugger line out of there. It's going to be one of those situations where I'm missing something quite small, I think. Yeah. Please, just stop doing that. All right. Man, what's weird, the weirdest thing about this is that the React DevTools disappear and I can't go fuss about with them. No, I don't want that. So something in that stops those tabs from being there, and so I cannot see. You know what? Let's make this easier, because I know I can do this. And get back my DevTools. Should complain less now, because I've absolutely rendered a key there. Very something weird is going on. I really broke something here, because those React tools should show up. It doesn't have a problem with this. Oh, well, I was passing a null in here. That's a good start. Weird bit to move that down. Thank you. That's so weird. Okay. Okay, that answers one thing. Strange. I probably need to reboot my browser or something. Let's fix that blue on hover. Okay. Well, we did it. What did I learn there? I don't know. I like all of this. This is cool because it's nice and straightforward. All of this CSS-y stuff. I don't love this. In particular, what I don't love about this is that it changes from being nice, straightforward props to now this is a JSON object, and you have to speak a lot more JavaScript to understand this, for example. Whereas the game before was just to write CSS, but instead of a colon, have an equals. Now you have to know here the equals is a colon again, but this isn't a string here. There's a lot of there's a significant amount of context switching here that isn't ideal. It's explainable, but it's not ideal. And it works in practice. So now this file gets a little simpler because I don't use this here. I do. What's in job listing? Let's fix that. Oh, well, I do, but I don't. Right, that's gone. That's gone. And that's gone. And so now that's gone. And I have one less file to monitor. And so in theory, if I wanted to get rid of this viewing jobs in, I could say do this, I can import that. I can grab these two rules. Let's pull this over here. I could say margin equals one rem font weight equals bold. Save that. Classes is no longer used here. This file is no longer needed, and now I can delete that. So that was the goal, right? That was what we wanted to do the whole way through here. Interesting learnings on that. It's repeatable. Like, this is good. This is something that I certainly have my head wrapped around a lot better now. My question is whether I like it more or not. Ugh, keyboard got stuck again. Come on. Oh. Jeez, what the hell is happening? So I did change some syntax here. And so that's on the sidebar, so that would show up on. Make sure this still works. Yeah, that does still work. Looks like there's some style carryover that I need to fix on this. Okay, so I'm going to call the stream there for the day. I've got a call right after this that I need to hop onto. We learned. I gotta sit with this for a little bit and see how that makes me feel. I'm not sure about this one yet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna commit this stuff and push it up to a branch and do some thinking on it. Oh, right. We also no longer need that library that I added for that CSS prop that we're not using, which was called, it sure had a name, this one. We don't need that. Yarn remove that guy. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna end the stream here. Y'all have a good afternoon. Let's do this again next week. I don't know where I'm gonna land on this, but we'll figure it out. Until then, yeah, I'll be on Twitter. You can find me at Reverend Mike, and we'll pick up something new next week. See you then, guys.